All right, Shabbat Shalom, friends. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up section, the Birchat HaShachar and Psukei Zimra. So we'll start today on page 68. Ma Tovu. How good are your tents, Jacob? It's what you say when you see the beauty of a sanctuary and people in prayer. What the prophet Balak said when forced to bless the people of Israel when he meant to curse them. 68. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Please rise, page 73, our morning blessings, imitating the process of waking up. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, asher natan l'sechi bina l'vchin ben yom u'ben layla. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, shesani b'tzalmo. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, shesani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, shesani ben chorim. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, pokech ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, abish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, karat al-mayim. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, shesali kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, amechim tzari gaver. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, ozer shel b'torah. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, ozer shel b'tifarah. Baruch atah Adonai L'Olam, anoten le'ayef koach. We may be seated. We turn to page 134. Now comes the Psukei Zimra, various songs and praises of God. We're just doing one on page 134 of Psalm 150. Hallelujah, 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 el b'kodesho, hallelujah, hallelujah, berki ahuzo, hallelujah, 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 b'gvurotav, hallelujah, hallelujah, kerov gulo, hallelujah, 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 b'tei shofar, hallelujah, hallelujah, b'nevel v'chinor, hallelujah, 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 b'tov u'machor, hallelujah, hallelujah, b'minim v'mugav, hallelujah, 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 b'tziltzalei shama, hallelujah, hallelujah, b'tziltzalei truah, kol hanshamate hallelujah, kol hanshamate hallelujah, kol hanishamate hallelujah, hallelujah, kol hanishamate hallelujah, hallelujah. Page 143. Nishmat kol chai tivarech et shimcha. page 147. Mi yitmelach, umi yishvelach, umi yaruch lach. Elakadol akbar v'narali al kol shamayim v'aretz. Nalecha, shbechach, nefercha, v'rechet shem kodshecha. V'mod Rabbi Barjin v'shiyat Adonai. V'chok rabbi shem kodsho. Hayel v'totzev oduzecha. Hagadol b'kvod shemecha. Hagibor l'netzach anu rabben orotecha. Amelech hayoshev al kitzei rabben Yisrael. In a moment, we're going to be on page 149 for the Shacharit portion of the service. Today is Gan Shabbat. Many of the families and our teachers are involved in leading parts of today's service. However, as often happens with young parents, several of the people who are going to lead various things, their kids are sick, or they're sick from their kids, because that's what happens when you have little kids. But only one kid is sick and he's healthy. So Josh Kamen, father of Judah, will be here to lead us in Shacharit, is here, page 149.
Shochanad Maharam Bekadosh Shemo Bechatu Vernanu Tzadikim Baranai Lasharim Navat Tehila Befi Sharim Titala Uvrei Tzadikim Titbarach Uvilshon Chasidim Titromam Ukerev Kedoshim Titkadash Uvalot Rivevot Amacha Beit Yisrael Brinad Yitpaer Shimcha Malkeinu Bechol Dor Vador Sheken Chovat Kol Yetzorim Lefanech Adonai Eloheinu V'Liabotenu Lehodol Lehalel Leshabech Lefayer Leramam Lehader Levarech Lehalel Kales Al Kol Divrei Shirot V'Tishbachot David Ben Yishai Abdecha Meshichecha Yishtabach Shimcha V'Had Malkeinu El HaMelech HaGadol v'HaKadosh b'Shamayim u'v'Haaretz Ki L'chana Adonai Eloheinu v'Liabotenu Shir Shvacha Halel v'Zimra Ozu Memshala Netzach Gdula u'Gvura Tila v'Tiferet Kedusha u'Malchut Brachot v'Hodahot Me'ata v'Adonai Baruch atah Adonai El Melech Gadol b'Tishbachot El Haodahot Adon Hanifot Habocher b'Shirei Zimra Melech Olchei HaOlamim Yitkadal v'Yitkadash Shemei Rabbi Amal Divrachu Tevi Malchutei V'Chayechonu Yomechon U'Chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala, Uvizman Kari, Bimaru, Amen, Ishmera, Memora, Olam, Me'almaya, Yitbarach, V'Yishtabach, V'Yitbar, V'Yitramam, Yinasev, Yitadar, V'Yitale, V'Yitala, Shmedu Kudashah, Leilam Yinvogechata B'Shir Hatam Tushbechata B'Nechemata Damihiran Le'alma V'Meru Amen.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu, the formal call to prayer on page 152.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch
Be seated.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or ubereh choshech oseh shalom ubereh et hakol. Ein kerkecha ve'ein zulatecha et zulatecha umi domelach. Ein kerkecha ve'ein zulatecha efes biltecha umi domelach. Ein kerkecha Adonai Eloheinu be'olam hazeh ve'ein zulatecha malkeinu le'olam haba efes biltecha goleinu limata Mashiach ve'ein domelach. Chacham Moshienu L'chaim Hamitim El Adon Al Kol HaMa'asim Baruch U'Borach B'Fi Kol Shama Gadlu V'Tuva Malei Olam Da'at U'Tvuna Sovim Oto Hamid Gaeh Al Chayot HaKodesh V'Nedar B'Chavod Al HaMerkava Zechut U'Mishor Livnei Chiso Chesed V'Racham Livnei Kvodo Tovim Me'orot Shel Hara Eloheinu Yitzaram B'Da'at B'Bina U'Chaskel Koach U'Gvura Natan Ba'em Liot Moshlim B'Kerev Tevel V'Leim Ziv U'Mfikim Nogam Na'ezivam B'chol HaOlam Semechim B'Tzeitam B'Sasim B'Roam Osim B'Eima Ritzon Konam Pe'er V'Chabod Nodim Lishma Tala V'Rina Le'Zechem Malchuto Kara L'Shemesh V'Yizrach Ora'a V'Yidin Surat Havana Shevat Nodim Lo Kol Tzava Maram Tiferet U'Gedula Tzavim Be'ofanim B'chayot HaKodesh La'el Asher Shabbat Mikol HaMasim. Titbarach Moshienu al Shabach Ma'aseh Yadecha Ve'al Mereh Or She'asita Yevaruch HaSela Titbarach Tzureinu Malkeinu V'Goaleinu Orei Kedoshim Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu Yotzei Meshatim וכולם פותחים את פיהם בקדושה ובטהרה, בשירה ובזמרה, ומברכים ומשבחים, ומפרים ומעריצים, ומקדישים וממליכים, את שם האל המלך הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, קדוש הוא. וכולם מקבלים עליהם או מלכות שמיים זה מזה, ונותנים רשות זה לזה, להקדיש ליוצרם בנחת רוח, בשפה ברורה ובנימה קדושה, כולם כאחד עונים ואומרים ברע, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלך הארץ כבודו. והאופנים וחיות הקודש ברעש גדול, מנסים לעומת שרפים, לעומתם משבחים ואומרים ברוך הוא אדוני במקומו, לאל ברוך נעימות ימיתנו. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהר לאורו. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot, Ahava Rabbah Ahavtanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chem Lagedola V'Tera, Chem Lata'aneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, V'avur Avotenu, Shebatchu Becha, Avinu Malkeinu, V'atamtem Chukei Chaim, Ken Techanenu V'amdenu, Avinu Av HaRachaman, Rachem Aleinu, V'ten b'libeinu Lehavinu haskil lishmo, lilmod u'lelamed, lishmor ve'la'asos. בתורתך ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך ולא נבוש לעולם ועד ולא נבוש לעולם ועד כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו נגיד לה ונשמחה בשורתך והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ ותוליכנו כמל ארצנו כי על פועל ישועת אתה ובנו בחרת מכל עם ולשון וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול סלע באמת להודות לך ויחדך באהבה ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Word 165.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם אלות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue on our own, 167 through 169.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת אמת יציב ונכון וקיים.
Page 170.
ודור ודור הוא קיים ושמו קיים וכיסו נכון ומלכותו ואמונתו לעד קיימת ודבריו חיים וקיימים. כל דורות זרע ישראל אביך אמת שעתהו אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו מלכנו מלך אבותינו גואלנו גואל אבותינו יוצרנו צור ישועתנו פודנו ומצילנו מעולם שמך אלוהים זולתך עזרת אבותינו עתנו מעולם. אמת אתה הוא ראשון ואתה הוא אחרון ומבלעדיך אין לנו מלך גואל ומושיע. תהילות אל עליון ברוך הוא ומבורך משה ובני ישראל לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Norah tehilot o sefer. Shira chadasha shivchu geolim, L'shimcha sfat hayam, yachud kulam hodu v'him lichu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Tzur Yisrael, u'ma'ezrat Yisrael, uvdechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael, kol aleinu Adonai tzvot shemo, kedosh Yisrael, baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
Begin the Amidah out loud and together, page 175.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Gadol HaGibor V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasodim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot, U'Mevi'o El Bnei Bneihem, L'Mashem Ye'ahava, Melech Ozer Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ofei Tzara, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Echayim Eitim Atara Le'Hoshia, Mashiva Ruach Mori HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayim Eitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Olim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha B'al Gevurot, U'Mido Melech, Melech Menit U'Mechayem, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah L'Achayot Meitim, Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaMeitim. Nekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv al yad nevi'echa, V'kara zel ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech kol haaretz, Kevodo. Az b'kol rash gadol, Adir v'chazak, Mashmi'im kol mitnasim lumat Yisrafim lumatam Baruch yomeru, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomcha, Malkeinu Tafiyah, V'timloch aleinu, Ki mechakim anachnu lach, Matai timloch b'tzion, B'karov b'yameinu, Le'olam va'ed, Tishkom, Titkada, V'titkadash, B'toch Yerushalayim mirecha, L'dor v'dor l'netzach netzachim, V'eineinu tirena, Malchutecha Kadavar ha'amur b'shirei uzecha Al yedei David Mashiach tzidkecha Yimloch Adonai Olam Elohayach Tzion Ledor vador hallelujah Ledor vador nagid golecha Ulenatzach netzachim kedushatcha nakdish V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush le'olam va'ed Ki al melech gadol v'kadosh ata Baruch ata Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
We continue on our own pages 181 through 192, reading the words in the book, or it's also a good time for just your own private thoughts, meditations, and prayers. And when you're done with that Amidah, your own thoughts and prayers, you can be seated.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Hebrew, amen. Yitkedal v'yitkara shemei Rabba, ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'akala v'zman kari v'imeru. Amen. Yanei shmei Rabba me'orach, ve'olam v'me'omaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalash v'yidusha. Le'ilam yim kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imeru. Amen. Tikabal sotahon, uvotahon, d'chol Yisrael, kadam uvahon, dibishmaya v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. V'hoseh shalom min ramav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imeru. Amen.
Thank you so much, Josh. Greatly appreciate it. Beautifully led Shakari. We're going to be on page 195 for the Torah service. And, okay, I'm wondering if, so the Torah carriers, I know Molly was here, but is not. She's, at the moment, she's one of our Torah carriers, Molly Bluestein. Is Josh Appleman here? Okay, so one of them will arrive in the next 2.5 minutes or so, it takes us to get there to the Torah carriers, my guess, because one of them's already here. But I'd also like to invite Jessica and Drew Kessler's coming to open the Ark. And Ember, if you need to go up there with them, you're welcome to just stand by them, it's fine. Or you can stay, your choice. They're going to open the Ark. All right. Page 195. And all right, Molly Bluestein, you want to come up, and you're going to be carrying the Torah, I believe. So, and there's a Talit and Kippah waiting for you when you get up there. And Miriam's going to come up, it looks like, with Mom. I didn't recognize her today because she's almost always seen in an A's cap. And I know there's a lot of hair under there. It looks like, this is a reference that very few will get. It looks like Oscar Gamble baseball card from, the mid-1970s. And with the curly hair sticking out of the A's cap. It's just fantastic. All right, here we go. Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam la'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Avarachamim eitiva v'irtzoncha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Kivecha levad batachnu, melech el ram v'nisa adon olamim. We rise now as the ark is open. Vayehi b'tzaron, vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, ve'afutzu oilecha, ve'anusu misanecha mipanecha, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, ve'amo Yisrael v'kedushato, ve'anarachis ve'lishnei kadisha, kadisha yakira, Ana emar tushbehan, Yadei Rabba Kodah
Letiv Gavli Beoraita, Letashli Mishalim Delivi, Beliba Lecholamach Yisrael, Letamu Lechayim Belishman.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadol Adonai Iti, Unerama Shemo Yachdav.
Lecha Adonai
Hagilura ve'atiferet ve'anetzach ve'ahod. Kibol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Kibol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai amad l'alacha, ve'hamid naseh le'chol erosh.
Shalom, 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 shalom.
It is a tree of life for them that hold fast to it, all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life for them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom,
All right, we may be seated. All right. We are going to now take the other book that's in front of us to follow along with the Torah reading, the Eighth Time Chumash, the burgundy-colored larger book. And we're going to be on page 293. This Torah portion is the last Torah portion in the book of Genesis, or Bereshit. It's super hard to find, although they already found it. It's the only Torah portion that doesn't start with a new paragraph. It just starts in the middle. And that's because, according to the great commentator Rashi, it's closed off. They call it a closed parsha because we're sad. We're sad either because Jacob's dying or because this is sort of the beginning of our descent into slavery in Egypt, even though slavery doesn't happen until between this week's Torah portion and next week's Torah portion. But still, that's why it's considered that. It's called Vayechi, which means then he lived. They're talking about Jacob, but it's really about that he's dying. It's, that he lived a long life. So we would even say the same kind of thing today. All right, so in the first Aliyah is chapter 47, verse 28 through 31 on page 293. And Jacob makes Joseph swear that he will bury him not in Egypt, but back in the land of his ancestry, the land of the patriarchs, in the cave of Machpelah. For the first Aliyah, we call upon Karen Sensor, who is observing a yort site today, and she is a bat Kohen.
Karen Penina, bat Baruch Michael HaKohen, Baruch Shanatan Torah Lema Yisrael B'Kedushato, V'yatzana V'Kedana Echem Chayim Kochem Hayom.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach,
Baruch Adonai HaBarach,
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar banu mikohanim, V'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai.
Amen.
Amen. Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim 17 shana. Vayehi leYaakov shnei chayav 7 shanim ve'arba'im u'mat shana. Vayikrevu yemei Yisrael lamut. Vayikra livnoi leYosef Vayomer lo imna matzati chen beinecha simna yadcha tachat yirechi ve'asita imadi chesed v'emet al na tikbereini b'Mitzrayim v'shachavti avotai unsatani mimitzrayim Upartani Pituratam Vayomar Anochi Eseti Varacha Vayomer Hishavali Vayishava Lo Vayishtachu Yisrael Al Rosh Hamikdash.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher natan lanu Torat emet, V'chei olam natat b'tochenu, Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yeshua. So, Joan Corin, who happens to be a grandmother of one of our children in the Gan, but she's reading today because, unfortunately, a lot of the young parents got sick, so she has taken the Torah portion at the last minute. So some of them are still here to read, thankfully, but others just their kids are sick or they're sick. So we wish they could be here. That's why Joan is taking on these extra readings. Also want to point out, I forgot to, that Josh Kamen, who led Shachrit, is not only the parent of a Gan student, he is a graduate of Gan Avraham as well, which is just incredibly cool. And one other thing, which is we love having the kids here. We don't mind them moving around a bit. There is childcare if you want to take them to it, right? Just so you know, there's plenty of people to watch your kids, but if they want to be up here, that's fine too. All right, the next Aliyah, the second one, chapter 48, verses 1 through 3. Jacob is sick, and so Joseph comes with his sons to see him. For the second Aliyah, we call upon my wife, Karen, who is commemorating the yahrzeit of her father this week. Oh, who is reading the second portion? Oh, and teacher, Lauren Helvan, to read the Torah.
Shamot, Tova Bat Hesel V'Chaim HaKohen Sheni.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach,
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'korbanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayehi acharei hadvarim ha'ele vayomer leYosef hine avicha chole v'yikach et shnei banav imo et Menashe ve'et Ephraim vayiged leYaakov vayomer hine bincha Yosef va'elecha vayitchazek Yisrael vayeshev al hamita vayomer Yaakov el Yosef El Shaddai nira elai beluz be'eretz Canaan ve'yevarech oti.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet Chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. All right, the third aliyah is 4 through 9, chapter 48. And Jacob tells Joseph that God visited him and using the name El Shaddai, which is one of the names of God. And let's see, the Torah reader for this time is Nate Pollock. So somewhere, I know Nate is here, come on up when he's not chasing Matt. He's playing keyboards for the Purim band, or in this case, reading Torah. And we're going to call Naomi and Derek Wetmore for the third aliyah, godparents and members of two very valuable teams. Okay, Naomi helps run Shabbat Mishpacha, along with Jessica Nagel, which is once a month. It would be today, but we're doing all this other Gone stuff today instead. So the next time will be the first Saturday in February. So thank you. And Derek is a valuable member of the Temple Beth Abraham softball team.
He thinks he was Ravini.
Oh, you think you were Ravini? Okay, well, Joan, any, do we think, look at the passage, make sure that matches up either way. He's got it. The word's more important than what you think the number is.
Yamdu. Naomi Bat. Harav Yaakov Bechana. Shmuel ben Naphtali v'Atzara Shlishi. Baruch Rachel Amoed.
Amen. Vayomer Elai, Hineni, Mafrecha v'reviticha, Unetaticha likal amim, Enatati et haaretz hazot, V'zerecha acharecha achuzat olam, Ve'ata Shnei beinecha, Noladim lecha b'eretz Mitzrayim, Ad boye lecha Mitzrayim alihem, Ephraim u'Menashe, Ben v'Shimon, Yuli, U'moladetecha, Asher altar achareihem, Lecha yiyu, Al Shem achehem, Yikru b'chilatam, V'ani v'avoi mipadan, Meta, Alai Rachel b'eretz Alai Rachel, B'eretz Kenan B'derech, V'yod Kivrat Aretz, Lavo Afarata, V'yakabara Hashem B'derech Eferat, Hi Beit Lachem, V'yara Yisrael et B'nei Yosef, V'yomer Mi Eleh, V'yomer Yosef El Aviv B'neihem, B'naihem, Asher Natan Li Elohim B'azeh, V'yomar, V'yomer kafenai lai ve'avarachai.
Nate, very well read. Thank you. We are now on page 296, were verses 10 through 13. Jacob, not seeing too well, but he asks that his grandchildren Ephraim and Manasseh be brought close to him for a blessing. And for the fourth Torah reader, we have another gone graduate and gone parent, Maya Schimberg, and she'll be reading the Torah and reciting the Aliyah along with her husband, Alex Schimberg, who will be doing the Aliyah.
Yamdu, Maya, Bat Yocheved, Baran, Yecheskel, Ben, Baruch, Miriam, Revi'i.
Baruch et Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim, V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ve'enei Yisrael kavedu mizoken lo yuchal lirot vayagesh otam elav vayishach lahem vayichabek lahem vayomer Yisrael el Yosef re'o fanecha lo zilalti vehine hera'oti Elohim kam et zarecha Vayotze Yosef otam me'im birkav vayishtachu le'apav ardav vayikach Yosef et shnehem et Ephraim bimino mismol Yisrael ve'et Menashe bismolo mimin Yisrael
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. All right, we are up to the fifth Aliyah, where Jacob switches the older and the younger in which blessing goes to which. In the hands, as Joan will read the Torah once again, and we call for the fifth Aliyah, Ben and Amber, also parents of two gone kids, Aleph and Gimel.
Yamdu. Amanabat Sarana. Benjamin ben Eliyahu Chamishi.
Et Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayishlach Yisrael et Yemino Vayashet al Rosh Ephraim vehu Hatza'ir V'etzmolo al Rosh Menashe Sikel et Yadav Ki Menashe HaBechor Vayvarech et Yosef Vayomar Elohim Asher Yitalchu Avotai Lefanav Abraham V'Yitzchak HaElohim Haro'eh Oti Me'odi Ad Hayom Hazeh HaMalach HaGo'el Oti Mikorah Yivarech et hanarim vayikarev ahem shmi v'shem avotai Avraham v'Yitzchak vayitku la'rov b'kerev ha'aretz.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen. Go on. Verse 17, Joseph tries to switch the hands and have the older get the blessing that he thinks the older one is supposed to get. But Jacob says, no, this is what I intended. The younger brother is going to be greater, but meaning have a greater portion of land than the older, which is pretty typical in the Torah, not typical of the time, but it happens to all the brothers. But the difference with these brothers, Ephraim and Manasseh, versus all the other ones, is they get along. Each kind of, they accept that they're different, and they become great in their own right and love each other. And that's why we do the blessing in the name of Ephraim and Manasseh on Shabbat and not any of the others. All right, for the sixth Aliyah, we call upon, I believe it is Shana Hirschfield Gold is going to come up, and the Torah reader is Joan.
Tamad Shena V'Yisimacha Shishi.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayar Yosef Ki Ashit Aviv Yad Yamino Al Rosh Ephraim והסירותה מעל ראש אפרים, על ראש מנשה. ויאמר יוסף אל אביו, לא כן אבי, כי זה הבכור, שים ימינך על ראשו. וימאן אביו, ויאמר ידעתי בני ידעתי, גם הוא יהיה לעם וגם הוא יגדל ועולם. אחיו הקטון יגדל ממנו, וזרעו יהיה מלוא הגויים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם אתה בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
And for the seventh Aliyah, you actually hear it. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh, verses 20 through 22. And for the seventh Aliyah, we call upon our fabulous Ghana director, Rachel, representing all the teachers. And teachers, don't go far because we're going to do a special blessing after this Aliyah.
Talmud, Rachel, Bat Shoshana, Shmuel, Shvi'i. Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Amen.
Amen. Vayvarachem bayom hahu lemor b'cha yivarech Yisrael lemor yisimcha Elohim k'Ephraim v'chi Manasseh vayasem et Ephraim lifnei Manasseh. ויאמר ישראל אל יוסף, הנה אנוכי מת, והיה אלוהים עמכם, והשיב אתכם אל ארץ אבותיכם. ואני נתתי לך שם אחר על אחיך, אשר לקחתי מיד האמורי, בחרבי ובקשתי.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Yeah, stay here. We're going to invite all the teachers to come. Stay on this side for now. All the teachers, come on up around here, around Rachel. And actually, Rachel's moved a little more even than where they're going to be right here. Come right next to the boss. And actually, yeah, kind of be in two rows there, kind of so you can be seen by. So some of you, keep going. Taller one, Josh, get in the back there. Keep moving in. Keep moving in, everybody, all around there. We want people who are even watching at home to be able to see you all. So there's a passage that we actually usually skip that is read around Ein Kelohenu when the kids come in. Rabbi Elazar, who said in the name of Rabbi Hanina, the disciples of the wise increase peace in this world. As it is said, all your children, this Kol Banaich, the Mudei, will be students of God. Great will be the peace of your children. But Rabbi Elazar said, read not Banaich, children, but Bonaich, builders. And that is exactly what we are blessed to have you all do. And we cannot thank you enough for all the incredible work you do with our children and in keeping our congregation, not just the children, but our entire congregation young and vital and ensuring the future of Judaism. You indeed are the builders because you're creating builders as well with the children. So I'm going to say Yaakov, the Rachel, Leah, the Yosef. May God make you like Jacob, Rachel, Leah, and Joseph, who continue to bless a little Ephraim and Menashe toward a bright future. And let us say, Amen. Thank you so much. You guys can go back to your seats, but Rachel's going to stay over there as we rise for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikada, Yikada, Shemei Rabba. Amen. Yibrach Yirteh V'yamlich Malchuteh. V'chayim Onyom Rechon V'chayim Echol Beit Yisrael. V'agala, V'agala, V'bizman Kari V'maru. Amen. V'ishmei Rabba Nemora. V'olam Olam Me'omaya. Barach v'Shabbat v'Arvi Brahman v'Yitnaseh v'Yitadar v'Yitaleh v'Yitalal Shemei Kedusha Le'el Amin Kaver Chata v'Shirata Tushvechata v'Nechem Matata Mirami Alma V'Maru. Amen.
And we may be seated. And we're going to turn down to page 310. 310, and we move from the... Yeah, I moved it. All right, page 310, verse 20 through the end, we move from the death of Jacob to the death of Joseph, who dies at 110, and he's embalmed, which is unusual. We don't embalm in Judaism, but he was in Egypt, and you have to follow the law of the land. And for those who don't know, this is Ari Kuhner-Haber, who will be a godparent in a year or two. They have a baby, he and Beryl, and he was very involved with our BBOO youth group when he was a teen here last year. So, anyway, so he'll be reading this last passage, and when he's done, when he gets to the last word, which is B'Mitzrayim, we get a really special thing to do today because we're ending the book of Torah. So we sing, chant, shout, say, whatever it is, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazeh, which means may you continually be strengthened. So we say that, and then he'll repeat after us. All right, and for the Maftir Aliyah, I guess that's Josh. Josh, come on up.
Yamad Yeshua Yitzchak ben Chaim V'Sara HaMaftir.
For a second, I thought it was me again.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Amen. Le'arei Yosef le'Ephraim b'nei Shlishim gam b'nei Machir b'Menashe yuldu al birkei Yosef. Vayomer Yosef el Echav Anochi met ve'Elohim hakod yifkod etchem v'ha'ela etchem min haaretz hazot el haaretz asher nishba le'Avraham le'Yitzchak u'Yaakov vayashba Yosef et bnei Yisrael lemor hakod yifkod Elohim etchem v'halitem et atzmotai mizeh Ve'yamat Yosef and me'ava aser shanim v'yachantu oto v'yisem ba'aram
B'Mitzrayim Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek.
Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
right, other young parents, particularly those who have the other little siblings here, go ahead and make sure you meet Ari and Beryl today. An inclusive blessing for all who read, inclusive Shabbat blessing. Abraham Yitzhak Yaakov, Sarah Karachel V'Leah. ויברך את כל פרי אשר עלו היום, לכבוד המקום, לכבוד התורה, לכבוד השבת, הקדוש ברוך הוא יברך אותם ואת משפחתם, וישק בה בהצלחה בכל מעשי ידיהם, כל שליחיהם, ונאמר Amen. And for all who are ill, we're thinking especially today of Scott Lawrence, Dalia Bat Razel, Barbara Rose, Ilya Oak, Karina Gola Bat Hado of Yehuda Tzvi, Levidit Bat Shena, Shabtai Dov Ben Shimon Moshe, Rosie German, Yechiel Ben Eliza, Shulamit Bat Leah, Eliza Bat Rav Raphael Esther, Moshe Ben Ruvain, Patricia de la Puente Rose, Rachel Shulamit Bat Yudi, Rachel Bat Esther Fruma, Mary Beth Shu Brower, Uda Rivka Bat Shmuel Bapola, Yona Yosef Ben Shmuel, Yoshua Ben Malka Tova, Ariel Chaim, Esther Hamolka Bat Salav Moshe, Ziva Hasson, Harvey Blatter, Charlotte Harris, Ovadia Ben Sarah. If you have any other names of those who are ill you wish to add to our prayers today, please say them out loud at this time.
Bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, Bekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Yasher Koach. I don't see Shira here. All right. Then let's see. Okay, so, well, actually, before we do Hagba and Galila, I just read a list of those who are ill. I want to just point out someone who many of you probably don't know, who is, thank God, not on our Misha Barak list, just alive, healthy, and well, is Helen Fixler, one of our last Holocaust survivors that we have in the congregation. So, Helen, if you wouldn't mind, Helen, would you stand up and wave? Helen Fixler, could you just stand up and wave to everybody? Yeah. What a treasure. And if you please get to know her, we're so lucky to have you here with us pretty much every Shabbat, unless it's horribly pouring raining. So anyway, great to have you here. All right, so we're going to have Paul, will you come up and do Hagba, and Jana, could you do Galila? Are you? Please rise. Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe Etzrayim la'machazikim ha'betom ve'habelushar Etzrayim la'machazikim ha'betom ve'habelushar Yerachel
La
may be seated, and we turn to page 313 for the Haftorah, 313. And Haftorah is a reading from the prophets which matches the Torah portion thematically. In this case, it's from 1 Kings. We have Jacob's dying days and even Joseph's in the Torah portion. In the Haftorah portion, we have King David's dying days. And unlike Jacob and Joseph's sort of spiritual methods, David's are very practical, not in a good way, because his sons have been rebelling against him. Everyone wants the throne, so he is basically telling his son Solomon about to be king. This guy's helpful, this guy is not, and we should take vengeance upon him. Very, very practical advice, although not necessarily pleasant. Still a very interesting snippet of history. Page 313.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar bimim tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'torah u'Moshe abdo u'Yisrael amo v'yeh ha'emet v'tzedek. Vayikrevu yemei David lamut vayatzav et Shlomo b'no lemor. Anochi holech b'derech kol haaretz v'chazakta v'hayita leish v'shamarta et mishmeret Adonai Elohecha lalechet b'drachav l'shmor chukotav mitzvotav u'mishpatav v'edotav kakatuv b'torat Moshe leman taskil et kol asher taseh ve'et kol asher tivneh sham leman yakim Adonai et baro asher diber alai lemor im yishmeru banecha et darkam lalechet lefanai be'emet bechol levavam u'chol nafsham lemor lo yikareh lecha yish mehal kisei Yisrael v'kamata yadata et asher hasali Yoav ben Tzruya asher asali shnei sarei tzvot Yisrael Avner ben Ner v'lamasa ben Yeter Vayahargem vayasem dmei milchama b'shalom vayiten dmei milchama b'chagorato asher b'manav uvnalo asher b'raglav v'asita b'chachmatecha v'lo tored sevato b'shalom she'o V'lifnei Barzilai Hagiladi Taseh Chesed V'hayu B'ochle Shulchanecha Ki chen Karvu Elai B'varchi Mipnei Avshalom Achicha V'hinei Imcha Shim'i Ben Gera Ben Haimini Mibachurim behu kilavani klala nimratzet beyom lechti machanaim behu yarad likrati hayarden ve'eshava lo Adonai lemor im amitcha becharev va'ata al tnakehu ki ish chacham ata V'yadata et asher taselo v'horata et sevato v'dam she'o v'yiskav David im avotav v'yikaver b'yir David v'hayamim asher malach David al Yisrael Arba'im shana b'Chevron malach sheva shanim u'b'Yerushalayim malach shloshim v'shalosh shanim u'Shlomo yashav al kiseh David aviv, vatikon malchuto me'od. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'neman ha'omer v'oseh, ha'mdaber u'mkayem, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Ne'eman atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'ne'emanim dvarecha, v'davar echad midvarecha, achor lo yashuv rekam, ki el melech ne'eman v'rachaman atah, baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'neman b'chol devarav. Rachem al Tzion ki hi beit chayinu, v'lalu vat nefesh toshia, b'mehera v'yaminu, baruch atah Adonai, v'samech Tzion b'vaneha. Samcheinu Adonai Eloheinu b'Eliyahu hanavi avdecha, u'v'malchut beit David meshichecha, b'mehera yavo v'yagel libenu, al kiso lo yeshev zar, v'lo yinchalu od achirim et kvodo, ki v'shem kodshecha nishbata lo, shelo yichbed nero le'olam ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen David. Al haTorah, vel ha'avodah, vel hanvim, vel yom haShabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha, lechavod u'ltifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach, u'mbarchim otach, yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai, tamid le'olam ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
All right, we can take a moment to find back in our Siddur. We're going to turn to page 223. And we're going to call upon Heidi Gibson to read the prayer for our country. Heidi's here. Thought I saw her earlier. No? All right, let's go, in case I missed her, she's not just in the room, we're going to do the prayer for the state of Israel first. We call upon teacher Amanda.
Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. As I thought about reading this prayer today, I also just want to extend this prayer to the leaders all over the world. As preschool teachers would say, we hope they make kind, good choices. Our Ab that is in heaven, Rock of Israel and its Redeemer, bless the state of Israel, the first flowering of our redemption. Shield her with the wings of your loving kindness. Spread over her the shelter of your peace. Send your light and your truth to the heads of state, her ministers and her advisors. Restore them with good counsel before you. Strengthen the hands of those who defend your holy land. Bequeath to them, our God, salvation. Adorn them with a crown of triumph, and grant peace in the land and eternal joy to its inhabitants. And together we say, Amen.
All right, teachers Tristan and teacher Molly are going to read the prayer for the country back on 223. So you even take turns paragraph by paragraph.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask you to bless our country, its government, its leaders, its citizens, and its land.
We offer a prayer of gratitude for the precious gift of living in a land blessed with sublime physical beauty, individual freedom, economic abundance, and a rich, magnificent history.
We offer a prayer of thanksgiving for those who came before us, those whose sacrifices created a strong and vibrant nation.
We acknowledge that there are those in our country who are suffering as well. We offer a prayer of hope for those whose cups are empty, for those whose freedoms have been curtailed, and for those who have not been able to share fully in all our country's blessings.
We offer a prayer of support to the leaders of our government, understanding that leading a nation with such diversity and freedom is a difficult and daunting task.
We offer a prayer of action to the citizens of our nation, that we may understand our obligation to be involved in making our country a better place for all who live here.
Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask you to bless our country, its government, its leaders, its citizens, and its land.
And let us say,
Amen. All right, Ashrei on page 231. This side of the room, you're going to start. This side of the room, you're going to respond. There is one 7th grader here today, but I don't make them do it by themselves. The others are preparing to wake up early tomorrow and be at the Oakland airport by 6:30 a.m. sharp, in case they're watching, so we can go to Los Angeles together, where we visit the Museum of Tolerance and Beit Tshuva, a Jewish rehab center, but of course they refer to as the Disneyland trip, where we are also going. Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, lo yalucha selah. Tehillah leDavid, aramim kalavai hamelech. To come up and help with Mizmor LeDavid. We're going to call upon Ark openers Nagin Ashuri and Abigail Tucker, and we're going to call upon Torah carrier Josh Appleman. Shem Adonai, ki nizkaf shebo levado, odo aleret, v'shamayim, v'yarem keren le'olamo, tehillah le'ol rasina, l'idei Yisrael ha'amiro, Alleluia, Alleluia. We may be seated. And now we have a chance to hear the drash of our Torah, the sermon of the morning, from the director of our school, Rachel Bendis.
This week's Torah portion, Vayafe, focuses on an intimate moment between Jacob and his son Joseph. Jacob is on his deathbed and is visited by Joseph, who brings his sons Ephraim and Manasseh. During the visit, Jacob makes Joseph promise to bury him in the land of patriarchs. Jacob also tells Joseph that he was visited by God and that he would like Joseph to bring his sons to him so that he can bless them. Little drama ensues when Jacob proceeds to bless Ephraim, the younger son, first, an honor usually given to the firstborn. When Joseph mentions this, Jacob responds that he has intentionally switched the order because he believes that Ephraim will be a greater influence than his brother someday. In the end, both sons receive the blessing. This is the origin story of the blessing that parents give to their children on Friday nights when making Shabbat. In the blessing of the children, it is spoken to the sons, "May you be like Ephraim and Manasseh." These two brothers are known to not have been in competition with each other, a theme that stands out in all of the sibling stories in the Torah. We bless our sons to be like Ephraim and Manasseh so that our own children will be peaceful and strive to live in harmony with their own siblings, family members, or friends. In the blessing to the daughters, we say, "May you be like Sarah, Rachel, Rebecca, and Leah, our matriarchs." Why is it important to bless our children? Why do we practice this ritual on Shabbat? As we transition into the sacred time of Shabbat, by bringing in the light of the Shabbat candles and making the moment holy with the fruit of the vine, we enter into a special space in time. Why not bless our children at this moment? When we bless our children during Shabbat, we include them in this special ritual and show them that we honor and love them no matter what happened during the week. You know. Blessing our children on Shabbat is a great sign of respect, and it implies to them that we see them. We see who they are, we love who they are, and we honor them. Sorry. I just love kids so much. This sentiment aligns perfectly with our philosophy of how we see children at the dawn. Our image of the child is that they are capable and competent human beings. Two of our core guiding values are kavod, respect, and B'Tselem Elohim, created in the image of the divine, each with their own unique spark. There are many ways that we show our respect for the children at GON and honor who they are. We strive to provide a rich and engaging environment that allows them time and space to explore on their own with quality materials. We communicate with language that gives children agency to do what they can, rather than policing their behaviors. We recognize that every child is different and has their own set of unique traits and talents. We honor their uniqueness by tailoring curriculum to their interests and skills. Every child is developing at their own pace. We encourage children to try new things, but will never do it for them. We develop meaningful and close relationships with the children that build trust and show them that we believe in them and care about them. Relationship building is the foundation of the work we do with young children. Maintaining a respectful image of the child is at the core of our philosophy. Our Jewish tradition offers the ritual of blessing children on Shabbat as a wonderful reminder that our children deserve to be honored for who they are, no matter what. If this is not already a Shabbat practice in your home, I invite you to try the ritual of blessing your children on Friday nights. Notice how it feels and what it adds to the sacred time of Shabbat.
I want to thank Rachel once again, not just for giving the drops today, but for all the amazing work that you're doing with our children and our teachers and our parents. And we're very lucky to have you as part of our community. And you like the Avon brothers, so it's all good. And you know, I've now been at this congregation for 21 years. We've had amazing, blessed directors of the GON and an amazing amount of children that have come through. You know, things are, with these current classes, the effects of masking and COVID, we don't know what they'll be. The amount of electronics that they see and participate in, you know, keeps increasing and increasing. But still, for the most part, you know, a 3-year-old is a 3-year-old is a 3-year-old. Doesn't really, they're wired, they're geared to learn in the ways that they do. Some express their abilities through physicality, others through song, through imagination. No kid is the same, and you know, each kid has strengths and weaknesses that will develop as they grow. And so our teachers have just done a masterful job in bringing these qualities and developing them in our kids. So thank you again. We're lucky to have you. There was going to be another GON parent. Tamara Miller was going to be, that's Devin's mom, was going to be leading Musaf, but she is taking one of her older child, Julian, to college today, so back to school. So therefore, I will be doing Musaf. It's going to be on page 239. And just as I introduced Helen, I want to introduce another Holocaust survivor who's among our community, who was hidden as a child. You should get to know her too. And although she's not doing today's catering, she often does the catering at our congregation. So Henny Heck, she's in the very back. Henny, if you don't mind standing up and waving, or that's Henny. Get to know her too. Honored to have you. Please rise, page 239. Yikara v'yikara shemei rabba Yamani v'achirutei v'alich machutei V'chayechon yomechon Ufchayedecho beit Yisrael V'agala Uvizman kari v'meru Yehei shmei rabba mevorach Le'olam le'om me'om maya yitvarach Vishtabach, Arvin Ram, Vitnase, Vita Dar, Vita Le, Vita Lal, Shmeri Kudisha, Lamin Kobrikata, Veshirata, Jushlecha, Tavenekemata, Damiran Be'alma, Vimeru. So we're going to do the Amidah silently in Musaf today. We're a little bit ahead of the kitchen probably, so we're going to do a repetition of this. So, although Oh, you know what? Except they've already been sent to get the kids, so scratch that. We're going to begin out loud together. So, all right. Adonai sifratai tiftach ufi yaki tehilatecha baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah El Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Hakot U'Mevi Goel Livnei B'neihem L'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Rozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ufrokei Tzara Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye Metim Atah Le'Oshia Mashiva Ruach U'Mori Hashem Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Mechaye Metim B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofech Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micham Bocha Givurot Umidomela Melech Memin Umechaye Umatzviach Yeshua V'nemanat Alachayot Meitim Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye Ametim Na'aritzecha V'na'alishecha Kesotzia Sarvei Kodesh Hamakishim Shimcha HaKodesh Kakatu Kol Yad Niviecha V'karazeh El Zeh Ve'amar Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Tzivavot Haaretz Kevodo, Kevodo Malei Olam, Mishartav Shrolim Zelazeh, Ayimekom Kevodo, Lumatam Baruch Yomeru, Baruch Kevodo Adonai, Mimkomo, Mimkomo, Yifen Berachamim, Ve'achonam Mechadim Shemo, Erev Avoker, Ve'cho Yom Tamid, Pamayim Ve'ava, Pamayim Ve'ava Shema Omrim Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Hu Eloheinu Hu Avinu Hu Malkeinu Hu Moshienu Ve'hu Yashmienu Berachamav Sheni Le'enei Kol Chai Sheni Leot Lachem Elohim Uvi Greko Chechaka Tu Lemor Yimlo Adonai Leolam Elohai Zion Ledor Vador Hallelujah Ledor Vador Ledor Vador Ledor Vador Nagid God Lecha Ledor Vador Ledor Vador Ledor Vador Nagid God Lecha Ula Netzach Netzachim, Ula Netzach Netzachim, Kedushat Techanatish, V'shivcha Eloheinu, Mipinu Lo Yamush, Leolam, Leolam Vaed, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Nagid God Lecha, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Nagid God Lecha, Melech Gadol, Gadol v'Kadosh, Gadol v'Kadosh Atah. Ki El Melech Gadol, Gadol v'Kadosh, Gadol v'Kadosh Atah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue on our own, 247 through 258. Kaddish Shalem is on page 259, and if you're in the Gan, stay up on the bima. If you're not in the Gan, well, actually, yeah, if you're not in the Gan, I want you to go find mom and dad, and then you're going to come back up in a few minutes for Eid Kelohenu. So if you're not in the Gan, go find mom and dad, and then we're going to get you back up for Eid Kelohenu and your special treat. Hi, Jacob. You used to be. That's true. Vikra Shemei Rabbah. Yeah. Yomani Brachir Teva Mechmachu Teva Chayachon Yomachon Melechot Beit Israel. Vagalav Izman Karivim Eru. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach. Le'olam Me'omaya Yikbar. Yivarach Vishtabach Yibar Ram Yaseh V'Kidav V'Kalev V'Kalav Shmei Kedusha. Le'olam Yikum B'Chatzah V'Shiratav. Chatzah V'Chatzah V'Chatzah Ram Yamavim Eru. Tikkun Tzolton V'Tom Nozashok Kodam V'Kom Divish Mayim Eru. Shalom Rabbi Shemayim, Chenu Le'Oko Yisrael V'Yimeru. Oseh Shalom B'Vroma, Uyaseh Shalom. Le'Oko Yisrael, Le'Oko Yisrael V'Yimeru. All right, I know it's a little confusing, but yeah, Gan kids, come on up here. Non-Gan kids, come on, go back down. And then we're going to switch you, and you're going to come up for Eid Kelohenu in just a minute. So, if you're not in the preschool, come on down. There's also a temporary lost and found on the bima for, so go ahead and look at that. And we're going to get the rest of you up there, I promise.
Daniel, watch where I'm sitting down, okay?
Shabbat Shalom, I'm Teacher Josh. We practice every week our Shabbat songs. So we're going to do a couple, well, there's one real Shabbat song and the other fun songs that we like to do. You ready? These 4 times. You guys all scoot this way. Everybody scoot this way. Well,
You can go back to what we had.
okay. You stay standing. I'm going to squat down so everybody can see you there. These 4 times, nice and loud. And mark your candles or spin bomb. Shabbat
the sky. Heat of fire, drop of water. I can feel it in my body, in my spirit, in my soul. Hear ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya.
All right, stay up there. Yashikov to Josh. Gonavram, all the other kids, come on up. Ein Kelohenu. Everyone else, come on up. Ein Kelohenu. All right, guys, keep moving in, or go like up by the ark, not behind the thing. See if you can get. Yeah. We're gonna move back.
No, it doesn't matter. Come on, let's go up.
All right, here we go. A few more coming.
I'm gonna go.
It's a nice. You get a nice sweet treat when you're done too. If there's enough. All right, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Adonenu, Ein Kemalchenu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Adonenu, Mi Kemalchenu, Mi Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Eloheinu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, All right, you can see our president, David Goodwin. He has something for you in that basket. The rest of us. Oh, and there's some over here too. So you want to see rabbits in blue? You can see. You get them from that too. The rest of us, we rise to the Aleinu page. Page 263. Aleinu l'shameach l'Torah Aleinu l'Mister Reishi Shelo Asanu B'Godei Haratzot V'Lo Samanu B'Kol Ha'adama Shelo Asanu Eloheinu Ka'el V'Kol Aleinu K'Kol Ha'adam Ananu Korim V'Nishtahali U'Rodim V'Nei Melech Ha'Kei Malachim Vakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom ahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo I'll get you one after, okay? I know, I'll get your sister one after. All right, on this Shabbat, we lovingly recall the memory of our departed, we may be seated, of our departed relatives and friends whose yard-sites we observe during the coming week. Thinking especially today, it's a very long list. Sam Barnett, David Brewer, Fred Brash, Donald Brower, Arthur Braverman, Mary Brisky, Ethel Cohen, Karen's father Howard Cohen, Abraham S. Cousin, Murray Davis, who you may know from the Courtyard. He was also the rock and roll Shabbat band. He was the lead guitar player and singer, and he's missed terribly. Randy Diamant, Gitta Schneider Alul, Louis Engelberg, who founded, I think, 3 different wineries in Sonoma, and also founded one of the early founders of Temple Beth Abraham. Sidney Goldstein, Joseph Gusfield, Elias Herfield, David Holloman, Betty Holloman, Esther Isaacson, Moises Itzkowicz, Irving Kingston, Bella Klarman, Bernard David Leitner, Les Leibovich, Edwin Lewin, Rochelle Mason, Lou Menkes, Jay Michelson, Al Nyman, Carolyn Sue Nightingale, Davy Ormsby, Erna Pekarski, Bessie Ranzer, Charlotte Resnick, Louis Rosenberg, Paula Rotman, Tom Rocher, Myra Sensor, Becky Singer, Joseph Singerman, Anna D. Weinstein, Eugene Weiss. We are in the Shloshim, the 3rd-day mourning period for Stacy Leibowitz. Just past 2 days ago, Leroy Muzzy, the stepfather of Deborah Hoffman-Wade, and Deborah, our thoughts are definitely with you. And also we're in the Shiva for Marina Gottschalk, member of the congregation, who I knew mostly as a person who was always in ill health, but she had a seat right in the back there for every high holiday and knew exactly where she would sit. She was really into the private prayer that we offered between services. But I learned at her funeral, she was for 2 decades a reporter at the Oakland Tribune. And so I wonder if you have ever heard of her, mostly in consumer affairs, but some other pretty cool stuff too. And one of the blessings, I mean, this is a blessing, right? All these children, it's wonderful. But when I have to deal with the opposite end of the spectrum with the funerals, it also is a blessing, and I often get to learn things about people's lives that otherwise I would never get to. The memories of all of you are with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing your side, as well as anyone else who wishes to rise from the mourner's cottage. All others can remain seated. Yit Kadal v'Yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah V'Alma Divrach Yerutei V'Amlich Malchutei V'Chayechon V'Yomechon V'Chayechon Beit Yisrael V'Gala V'Zman Karim V'Yimru Yehei Shemei Rabbah V'Vorach V'Olam Lo Me'ol Maya Yitbarach Yishtabach V'Yitpahar V'Yitramam V'Yitnaseh V'Tadar V'Taleh V'Talal Shemei Kudsha V'Rihu La'ela Minko Birchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Namiran Ve'Oma V'Yibru Yehei Shlama Rama Min Shemaya V'Chaim Aleinu Ve'Al Kol Yisrael V'Yibru Osei Shalom V'Rama Uya Osei Shalom Aleinu Ve'Al Kol Yisrael V'Yibru Amen. Zichronam Livracha, may the memory of the people you've come to say Kaddish will be a blessing to you always. And let us say Amen. And we call upon President of the congregation, David Goodwin, for announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Having come back from 2.5 weeks visiting my daughter and grandchildren in Paris, I wish my 3-year-old were in Legon. The teachers are wonderful. We're very grateful to you, and we're very grateful for Rachel, and the kids are amazing. Thank you to Deborah Hoffman-Wade and Garrett Schwartz for ushering, to Joan Corinne for pitch hitting
with the Torah reading, and Laura Helfon, Dave Pollack, Maya Schimberg, and Ari Kuhner-Haber for reading Torah, and Josh Kamen for reading Haftarah and for leading Shachrit, and to the rabbi for leading the other services. After the service is over, the rabbi will do the Kiddush on the Bima, and then there will be a lunch catered by Billy Gentry in the social hall. Morning minyan, Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Tuesday night, we are resuming the pre-pandemic men's club bowling tournament and Torah study on Wednesday at the Palista Cafe. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, David. Thank you again to Josh Mailman, and also Mike and Eli are learning to run our streaming. Greatly appreciate it. And if there are lots of guests here, some of you are parents and grandparents of gone children. I mostly know who you are, but then there's some who may not be affiliated with the gone at all, and you're here for the first time. I want to welcome you. Please introduce yourself to me. I can't always tell when we have this big of a crowd who's new and who isn't. And speaking of this big of a crowd, we generally don't have it quite every week, but we do have free childcare every week. You should know that, and you can drop your kids off and sit quietly in services, meditate, and your kids will be watched. They won't even actually know they're not at gone. They just think they're going to school for another day. So definitely consider coming. All right. I think that's about it. Rachel, anything to add, or we're all good? There's plain pasta at the Kiddush lunch today, so people are going to be in very good shape. All right, we're going to conclude with Adon Olam. Actually, even before I do that, it's going to be on page 269. If you're a parent with a kid very near you, like next to you or in your lap, why don't you put your hands on their heads right now and repeat after me. Yisimcha Elohim K'Ephraim V'chi Menashe Kasara Rivka Rachel V'Leah. May God make you like Ephraim and Menashe, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, carrying forward the Jewish people into the future. We have to bless them today since we just read about that blessing. Right? We've got to at least do that. All right. Adon Olam, page 269. When that's done, stay in here. We're going to rise and do Kiddush Motzi up here. And then you can go right downstairs and start eating that plain elbow macaroni and other things too. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra V'Yein Asa V'Hefto Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nivra V'Yacharei Yiklo Kol Levado Yimlo Torah Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Oreh Ve'hu Yiyeh Shilo lehakbira, v'li reishi, v'li tachli, v'lo halos, ve'am yisra, ve'yado, goali, ve'tzor chevli, ve'ein zara, ve'unitzi, umanosli, ve'nat kosi, ve'yom ekra, ve'yado, afkiru. Ve'ei ishan ve'a'ira ve'im ruchi gevi'ati Adonai li ve'lo ira. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise for the Kiddush. Shabbat
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת בדורות כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני לשמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת בדורות עולם וביום השביעי שבת ונפש שבת וינפש יאמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת בדורותם ברית עולם. על כן רקדתם משפט לקדשי וסברים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הכפר. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz amen b'tei avot. Sing it downstairs.